Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Our deadly year continues. Another homicide overnight. This time, a man is shot and killed inside a local market. The search for the shooter in this case as we talk to the sheriff about the rash of killings in our community.
The candidates for the 34th District Assembly race face off. Incumbent Vince Fong and challenger Julie Solis make their case for your vote. We'll have the recap of how the night went coming up.
And we're supposed to see the two candidates for president face off again tonight, but the second debate between President Donald Trump and Joe Biden was canceled. Instead, we have dueling town halls. What to expect now, 19 days until the election on this Thursday, October 15th, 2020. Good morning. It is good to have you with us this morning here at 5 a.m. I'm Maddie Jansen, anchoring here at home once again, just for a few days this morning because my husband's out of town, so I didn't really have anything to do with the kids. So this is one perk that we have to now have this ability to work from home. Alex?
I was going to say, this is the great part about learning how to remote in and do these things, because when you have your husband leave you for a conference or do something else, you can be with your kids, right, Maddie?
Yeah, otherwise I'd be driving them into town and trying to find someone to take them at 4 in the morning. So this is easier. They're still in bed. I think I just heard them actually.
Well, it's going to be a busy morning for you. All right, well, we'll check back in with you in just a few moments. But first, this morning here on Sunrise, a man is dead after being shot inside a market in Oildale. It happened around 9:15 last night on North Chester Avenue near Beardsley Avenue. KCSO says they found someone that had been shot. Deputies tried to save the man, but he died. Investigators say 2 people entered the business, shot the man, and got into a car driven by a third person and took off, all in a matter of seconds. Anyone with information is asked to call the sheriff's office at 861-3110 or the secret witness line at 322-4040.
New videos giving us more details about an officer-involved shooting, with police killing a man who attacked his own mother.
Crossfire!
Witness video taken through a window shows blurry details of what happened Tuesday morning. Bakersfield police has since identified the man as 27-year-old Jose Marcos Ramirez. BPD said they first tried non-lethal foam rounds to stop him. They said they also ordered Ramirez to get on the ground when they saw him with a knife. Ultimately, they fired 8 shots. Ramirez was taken to the hospital where he died. Kern County court records show Ramirez served jail time for battery on a peace officer, and assault with a deadly weapon, among other charges. This marks the 12th fatal officer-involved shooting this year. BPD said footage from body cameras will be released soon. All right, your time now is 5:04, and on to the latest for the pandemic here in Kern County. Public Health reported 9 new deaths yesterday and 59 new cases of coronavirus. Over 33,000 people have had COVID-19 in Kern County. Right now, more than 10,700 people are isolated in their homes with the virus, and about 30 people are being treated in local hospitals. The Kern County Latino COVID-19 Task Force is hosting 2 free testing sites this week, starting today at La Mina Cantina. The second is tomorrow at Vallarta Supermarkets, both in Southwest Bakersfield. Each test site runs from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and walk-ins are welcomed.
In education news this morning and new here at Sunrise, the Mojave Unified School District is providing information on its plan to bring students back into the classroom, following the news this week that Kern County had entered the red tier of state-mandated coronavirus restrictions. Superintendent Catherine Aguirre announced yesterday if Kern County remains in the red tier for the next 2 weeks, she will declare that schools in the district will reopen October 27th. Aguirre says that students will be brought back in, quote, different capacities as the district works toward eventually fully reopening. She also says the district will be working closely with families and providing a survey to gauge their comfort with in-person instruction.
Making news around the state, leaders of the Employment Development Department have given an update on their massive backlog of unemployment benefit claims. 17's Ashley Zavala has more.
Leaders of the state agency tasked with processing millions of unemployment claims during the pandemic gave lawmakers an update on its issues Wednesday. A group working to improve the Employment Development Department told members of the Senate Labor Committee it's on track to clear its backlog of about 1 million claims by January 27th of 2021.
We identified 1.6 million people were still waiting over 21 days for their payment or determination. This is what is referred to as the backlog. This is what we internally refer to as humans waiting for their money. Over 424,000 of those individuals are no longer waiting.
The department credits its new identity verification system called ID.me for picking up the pace on benefit applications. It started using the new system less than 2 weeks ago, but that improvement is just the beginning of a long list of department needs. Members of Governor Gavin Newsom's EDD strike team brought up concerns of the department's manpower.
At its core, the department has grown overly reliant on a single group of people who must perform highly specialized tasks to perform and process claims.
Lawmakers pressed EDD leaders on the number of EDD workers needed in and out of a recession. Officials told the committee it can take years to train EDD employees.
The fact that it takes years to train people appropriately says to me as a policymaker, there's something wrong here if this system is so difficult, not only for individuals seeking the assistance must endure, but those who are providing it.
Department leaders say they will roll out a specific timeline on more targeted improvements within the coming weeks. In Sacramento, Ashley Zavala, 17 News.
5:08 now, and today is the Great California Shakeout, a statewide initiative to help people be better prepared for earthquakes. If you have the My Shake app, don't be surprised if you get an alert later this morning. The app gives Californians an early warning just seconds before an earthquake strikes. But today, the app will send out a test alert for the shakeout. It's happening at 10:15. You're encouraged to practice the emergency drill to drop, find cover, and hold on. And coming up at 6 this morning, 17's Taylor Schau will be live with the Kern County Fire Department to talk more about what to do during this drill. And we'll talk to a local geologist about Kern's earthquake hotspots and the areas most at risk. Flex alert has been issued for the state today. The California Independent System Operator issued the flex alert due to forecasted high temperatures. That means people are asked to cut back on energy use from 3 p.m. till 10 p.m. today. Some conservation tips include setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoid using major appliances, and turn off any unnecessary lights. It's just a good reminder that this is, again, it's October, right? And we're already talking about these flex alerts. So unfortunately, it's going to be something that we're all going to feel in California. All right, let's take a look at your forecast because once again, we're dealing with these warm temperatures, unfortunately. I mean, we're talking about this flex alert, Kev. I know, I'm looking at our forecast and I'm going, it's not extreme temperatures, but, you talked a little bit about the extreme temperatures like at Pismo, 98 degrees you said yesterday. Other areas of the state are dealing with these warm temperatures.
Yeah, but not extreme. I'm actually a little shocked about a flex alert because we're only expecting the lower 90s today. Usually we see a flex alert when we're in the triple digits, but they have issued it, and so try to conserve as much as you possibly can. Outside, we got clear skies and 64 degrees. Great recovery overnight, though. We've got great temperatures to start off the morning. The light wind out of the east at 3. There is a little bit of a haze out there, and that's being noted here by visibility at 7 miles out at Meadows Field. Now, yesterday, our high was 88, right on track with what we were thinking. We should be around 80 this time of year. Our record 101 set back in 1954. Now, triple digits hopefully are not going to return, but we are going to be a little bit warmer today. 50s and 60s to start off your morning here. Into the mountains, we have 48 in Frazier Park, Tehachapi at 45, and then mid-50s out of the Lake Isabella area. Skies remain clear around the state. Nothing changes on that front, even along the coastal areas. Not expecting any fog or anything like that. And as we take a look at the numbers for today, 94 in Sacramento, Fresno at 91. We're looking at 80s down in Los Angeles, San Diego. So, yeah, a little bit warm, but cooler out at Pismo Beach. Again, we were looking at 90s yesterday. We're going to pull things back into the lower 80s. So, definitely a flex in the temperatures. And we've got an east-northeast wind 5 to 10 miles per hour out that way today. It's all because of this ridge. It is going to hang out here in the Pacific. Here's a look at your air quality today. I didn't talk about that haze that's going to be around the area because we're unhealthy for sensitive groups. Your AQI at 119. Today, temperatures will be near 90, 92 in Bakersfield, McFarland, 90 out in Taft, light wind throughout the day. For the mountains in the Kern River Valley, Fraser Park at 87, 85 in Tehachapi. For the Kern River Valley, 96, Lake Isabella, southeast wind 10 to 15. You'll probably see a little bit of that haze as well. And then out in the desert, Mojave today at 93 with that northeast wind 10 to 15. Here's a look at that extended forecast for you. And tomorrow we're looking at 93, 92 on Saturday, then back into the 80s still for Sunday into next week. By Wednesday, we're in the lower 80s, so something to look forward to there. Into the mountains, we'll keep you in the 80s through at least Sunday, then those 70s will return for you as we head into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then for the Kern River Valley forecast, we're looking at 90s to hang on through Saturday, 80s return by Sunday, lower 80s back on the board by Wednesday. So we're not expecting extreme heat. And like I said, when we talk about flex alerts, we're kind of thinking, whoa, we're seeing triple digits. Yeah. That's usually when we see those issued. Not the case, lower 90s as we go throughout the day. But again, it's always a good idea, if we can, to conserve energy, not only for the grid, but for your power bill.
I know that I'm going, well, and that was the thing. When I got the alert yesterday, I was
kind of thrown back.
I was thrown back. But then I looked at other forecasts, across the state, and, there are warmer temperatures. Right. Some areas that don't typically see, the 90s during this time of year. So I know it's not just us; it's for the whole state. But still, it's still very surprising.
Yeah, I don't think we have to really worry here in Kern County about power being shut off necessarily. But hey, it's always good to conserve. And again, you'll thank your bill later.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thanks, Kevin.
17 News is your local election headquarters. The Senate Judiciary Committee has scheduled a vote today to approve Judge Amy Coney Barrett's nomination to the Supreme Court. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham scheduled a committee vote for 6 a.m. our time. Barrett's nomination is expected to be brought up for a vote at that meeting, then delayed for a week per committee rules. If that happens as expected, the GOP-led committee would then vote to approve her nomination next Thursday. That would set up a final confirmation vote on the Senate floor for the week of October 26th. Well, tonight was supposed to be the second presidential debate. Instead, a dynamic split screen on televisions across America. President Trump in Florida and Democratic nominee Joe Biden in Pennsylvania, each doing their own town hall. Tracy Potts has more.
Maddie, good morning. Good morning, everyone. We've got some new numbers. Our NBC News Wall Street Journal poll shows Joe Biden up by 11 points over President Trump. Now, that's down a bit from the end of last month, and it shows there's still some undecided voters out there, the ones the pollsters got wrong 4 years ago. Well, tonight they'll get a chance to see both candidates live, but not together. Instead of a presidential debate tonight, two town halls, President Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden, each live on different networks at the same time. President Trump complains the questions at Biden's town hall last week were too easy.
It was designed for a child, okay? When I get in, they ask me things that nobody ever even contemplated could be thought of.
Biden seeming confident with polls that show him leading nationally.
The longer Donald Trump is president, the more reckless he seems to get. Thank God we only have 3 weeks left to go.
The president also weighing in on First Lady Melania Trump, revealing that their son also had coronavirus.
Barron tested positive. Within 2 seconds, it was, Barron is just fine now. He's tested negative, right?
But the government's top infectious disease expert warns against misinterpreting the president's quick recovery.
That's sort of like saying somebody was speeding in a car at 95 miles an hour and didn't get in an accident, so I can go ahead and speed and not get in an accident.
As more states open for early voting, a third of the country now reports high coronavirus cases. The second wave that medical experts warned about is happening less than 3 weeks before Election Day. And we're tracking COVID relief talks in Washington that seem to be going nowhere, falling apart. President Trump and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi are blaming each other. But Pelosi's also taking some heat from Democrats who wanted to see those $1,200 checks roll out before Election Day. I'm Tracy Potts, 17 News.
Well, it's hard to believe that we are less than 3 weeks away from Election Day, but it's not just the top of the ticket, battling it out beforehand. Last night, KGET hosted a live debate between the candidates vying for the 34th Assembly District. Incumbent Assemblyman Vince Fong and his Democratic challenger Julie Solis fielded questions from 17's Jim Scott and our senior political reporter Eitan Wallace.
I'm a Valley Fever Awareness advocate. I came out into the community due to the lack of support out here. And so as a grassroots community activist, I'm here because we need change.
And over the past few months, our community has gone through a lot, and tremendous challenges still face our state. And we need to send the most effective advocate to Sacramento for Kern County. And I believe I'm that person.
Tonight, we'll be hosting another live half-hour debate featuring the two candidates for California's 32nd District, Democratic incumbent Rudy Salas and his GOP challenger Todd Cota. That's at 7 p.m. right here on TV 17.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to KGET.com.